Ryan Spann says when I mentioned heat between the two of you, he said, don't put that on me. I didn't start this. So where does this come from, Anthony Smith?
I said from the beginning that it wasn't real, that it was just, I think it was him just trying to hype himself up. I think it's some insecurities. I think he's uncomfortable a little bit. And there was just some anger in that promo. He was just kind of, I don't know, he was a little salty, a little, I don't know, there's some spice to it. So, and I just brought it up, and I don't think he expected me to say anything about it. And I have a big platform. I'm on the broadcasting side as well, so I do a lot of these interviews, and I do have a pretty big platform. So I don't think he expected it to kind of pick up the way that it did.
In terms of, we talked just before this interview about your weight cut and how this time actually was a little tougher for you. For Ryan, the opposite. He said this is the first time he's actually feels like he's trained right for a full camp. You said, though, this benefits you. Why?
Yeah, I think it's perfect. When I seen that he said that he was smaller than he'd ever been coming in, it worked out perfect for me. The idea was that I was going to keep putting on size so that I could compete a little bit better physically with some of these bigger light heavyweights. So if he came in smaller and I came in bigger, that I feel like that worked perfectly for me.
You've been training with heavyweights in advance of this fight. How do you think that benefits you?
I think that we made a really smart decision by doing that. He's a big, strong guy. He's a fantastic athlete. He's really strong. And I just needed to be used to that physicality and a lot of it's muscle fatigue that I'm trying to fight. I don't want to be exhausted trying to move him around and stop him from moving me. So I've been doing it this entire training camp with guys much longer, much stronger, and just as fast and athletic as he is. So, we got guys that are 270 that move like middleweights, or 250 and move like middleweights. So I think that when I get a hold of Ryan, I think it's going to feel different.
In terms of this fight, does it need to be a dominant win for you to be satisfied on Saturday?
I mean, that's what would make me happy. But I'm not overlooking him. I'm not underestimating him. At this point, a win over Ryan Spann is good enough. It's gonna keep me going in the division. It's gonna move me on to a bigger fight. But if he trips and falls on his way to the cage and I get the win, I'm okay with that too.
Mm-hmm. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much, Anthony. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Heidi. T, would anything jump out to you there?
I mean, he was really Anthony Smith, the desk worker, for me a second ago. Hopefully, Lionheart comes to fight tomorrow because Spann is going to be, trying to take his head off. I really think that working the desk definitely helps you, but sometimes when it's time to go in kill mode, you got to flip that switch a little bit.
You felt that he was being overanalyzed there.
I felt like he needed a shirt and towel, and he should have been sitting up here with us. But I don't know, maybe that's his play.
Well, I got to say, the thing that kind of jumped off the page for me was that he kind of said, I need to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
He was talking about the size, competing with some of these big light heavyweights. And I think what he was referring to is that Alexander Rakic fight.
Yeah.
That fight surprised him, right? When those guys clinched up, you saw an obvious strength difference in that fight. And I think even though he's on a 2-fight win streak right now, he's acknowledging there are guys in this division that are athletes, that are big, strong guys. And Ryan Spann is one of them. He's a bigger guy, a longer reach. They don't know how it's going to feel yet in the clinch, but he's been preparing for that, putting on a little size in case it is in deep waters in this fight.
So I spoke to Anthony earlier this week. He told me it was world title or die trying, Tyron. So he still wants to get there. He's number 6. This is his 52nd fight. Do you think he still has what it takes to become champion again?
For sure. He definitely has what it takes to be champion. He has punching power. Anybody with one punch KO power, grit, toughness, and in a division that's as wide open as light heavyweight, he definitely has a chance. I think anytime he fights, he's always in position for the knockout, not just a submission. And for someone that can knock you out and submit you and tough and always game to fight, he's always gonna be about 1 or 2 fights away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the great thing that benefits him, like Tyron was saying, he's a finisher. It's not a guy that has to go in there and grind every single fight. Anthony Smith is a guy that can go in there and he could put you away with submissions, or 19 knockouts, 13 submissions, 5 of those by triangle. He's got tools in his belt. He's got an arsenal underneath him that could put guys out of there. And if he can get out of there, as he was saying, look, the best case scenario is to go out there and finish Spann in this fight. If he can get a finish in this fight, not take damage, he's 33 years old. He's still got a lot of time to build towards that title.
And he mixes up real well. He punch high, he punch low, he throws kicks, he moves laterally, he goes for takedowns, he goes for submissions. He does that over and again. And I also think, I correct myself, sometimes you try to downplay things, play the mental game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, yeah, I do the analyst work and all that. But in real life, have you ever seen him fight any different way? No. So I
Right.
think he could be trying to get Spann to maybe come down off his rah-rah with this whole little artificial beef or whatever they had going on. But he definitely just has such variety of his arsenal that you can never take him out the title picture.
Well, and listen, Alan, Ryan is saying that it wasn't necessarily anger. It's just that he's amped up. And we have to appreciate this is a very big opportunity for Ryan Spann. He's currently number 11. This is number 6 he's going up against. He could make a huge leap in the rankings. So, Alan, I mean, it's a massive opportunity. What might be going through Ryan's head here, just trying to get himself elevated for this?
I think the memories, the past of losing before at his big opportunities are haunting him, and that's what's fueling him right now. Let's not forget, Ryan Spann came into the UFC, the Dana White Contender Series. He lost early in that fight, broke his heart. He talked about being depressed, not leaving the couch for months and weeks, his son having to motivate him. Got the opportunity to come back. Boy, he went into the LFA, won a title, did a bunch of things, got a bunch of wins under his belt, came back to the UFC, came back to Dana White Contender Series, got the win. Now he's on a tremendous tear right now, coming off of a knockout win over Mr. Serkinich. He doesn't want that opportunity to slip through his fingers again. This is a big opportunity, main eventing against Anthony Smith. He wants to capitalize on this.
When I was looking at Spann and looking at the notes and looking at his whole resume, the thing that stood out to me the most is the fact that he did lose that first time. He didn't get discouraged. Many fighters will not get a second opportunity to go on the Contender Series and try to be victorious to get a contract. The fact he lost that fight, went back, got to the grind, got some victories, came back, won by submission, and then put himself in a position where he's at now. He's about to crack the top 10 with a victory. Could put himself a fight or two away from a title shot.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.